Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Anna.
And we're two sisters who love handcrafting and figuring things out.
It feels good to be back together. It's been 6 weeks since our last regular FlossTube.
Whoa.
I think something like that.
I think because it's been
Stitch with Us.
It's been about 4.5 weeks since we filmed our Stitch with Us. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh, so maybe even longer. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it is Saturday, April 19th, and welcome. Mm-hmm. We're very happy to be together, sitting next to each other, about to talk a lot of stitching, and we're so happy you're with us.
I know we haven't seen each other. Well, I mean, we've seen each other a little bit, but I don't know what Anna's been stitching. I don't know what she's up to. She doesn't know what I've been up to. So it's going to be really fun. Mm-hmm. We have a good, long, juicy episode for you today. At least I think we do.
It will always be 1 hour, 6 minutes, or whatever it is.
We'll talk about what I'm wearing. Anna has some FFOs and finishes to show. Then we have a lot of whips. And then we'll end with plans and shared supplies. And of course, thumbs up. Okay, we got a lot going on.
Yes, we do. All right, so our last video, like we just said, was a Stitch with Us, and we had some of the things we talked about generated quite a few comments, one of which was what people use as their eyewear while they're stitching. Mm-hmm. So many different solutions.
I loved it.
Have you made a decision for yourself yet?
Okay, so I am going to go with trying some special glasses, and I'm so glad. I was just going to sort of like cobble together my own prescription, like get some glasses that have my tops and then do like a +4 magnifiers, like what I wear. But I'd say like more than 5 people said they took their stitching into their eye appointment and had their eye doctor do a specific prescription for the magnification.
I love that idea.
So I'm going to totally do that. I'm going to get my eyes checked. I think I'll have an appointment in May, and I always get one free frame a year. So I'll probably keep these unless my prescription is totally changed, and I might use that for my free frame. But I think another person did say, be careful because when your eyes change, they won't be as good anymore. But I'm like, I think that as long as they would work for like a couple of years, which I think my glasses tend to, I think it's going to be worth it for me.
And maybe every other you can change your regular glasses, your stitching glasses, or something like that.
Yeah. So I am going to definitely give it a go.
Great.
So thank you. First of all, thank you for everyone's comments. I love people that also gave their own answers to different questions. We had several people that were talking about what they'd take to like a desert island or just different things. It was fun.
Right.
Great comments.
And somebody asked, I hope I remember it correctly. If you had unlimited money, what craft supply would you buy?
Right. That's right. Did you?
I put an answer in my comment. Did something spring?
You know what I would buy? I would buy one of the Hearth Song floor frames that Evertote sells.
It might be Hearthside. Hearthside. Is that like the children's toy store that we used to buy from back in the day?
Yeah. But Hearthside. That makes sense, like by the side of your hearth.
Yeah.
I think I would do that.
Yeah. I said that I would buy some incredible drapey 100% silk and make a dress. Because sometimes it's like $100 a yard or something.
Or you know what else? Is it unlimited money?
Yeah. I think that was how it was phrased.
I might throw a big beep party for stitchers all over the country.
Fly everybody in.
Oh, I
like that better.
All kinds of materials out and patterns. So you pick something you want to do. We'd have a party, and by party I mean we would sit and stitch with snacks. I think that's what I would do. But although I guess that's not really a crafting supply.
True. So I like that.
Okay.
Maybe we can make that happen anyway. Mm-hmm. And another thing, we had said something about We haven't stitched with that much Aida. Is some of the Aida we've touched is sort of stiff? What sort of drapey Aida is out there? I'm using the word drapey a lot already. And people said they love Roxy Flosscoat Aida, Coloring Cotton, Cosmo, Picture This Plus. I'm sure there are others out there, but those were specific brands that were mentioned for Aida.
Okay.
So maybe we have a little more Aida in our future.
Wait till shared supplies. Foreshadowing.
Okay.
All right.
And there's also lots of discussion about washing or wet blocking projects.
Yeah, I think the woman that said she had a full coverage, that she did wash it because she said she felt like this is before she fully finished it. Once she was done stitching, because she's like, it's pretty grimy. Like,
and several people also said, like, oh, back in the 80s, we washed everything. But there was less, if any, hand-dyed floss.
That's right. But also talking about the difference between washing and wet blocking and how those are different. But it's good. It was fun.
All right, so we do have some things happening in our personal lives.
We've been
all
busy.
Celebration. We've had a birth and we've had a wedding. So let's just
jump right to our toast.
come on.
Okay.
We have a new baby R. My daughter had a baby.
And it's the first boy of that generation.
So he's the eighth.
The eighth. So 7 girls, a boy, and another girl on the way.
So the baby
All right,
R.
to baby R.
Can't wait any longer. What a joy.
Plus we've had our Prosecco's looking at us.
So good.
Yeah. Okay. So,
right,
tell us about what you were doing with baby R.
Right. So I had an extended stay with my daughter in the DC area, and it was just so fun to fall into the rhythm of their household and to help out and sometimes go do my own thing. I was able to deliver the M. Bell 1856 tile, which I've always imagined on their shelf. So here's a picture of it on their shelf. And I had a chance to go into DC during peak cherry blossom time, which was fantastic. Went to the National Gallery of Art and just wandered around a bit and found an incredible piece of needlework from the 1600s. Cage Strack, and I thought of you. Here are a few close-ups of that. Just happened upon that. The 3D effect of this needlework was absolutely amazing. Another day, I went into the city again to meet a friend from here, which was so hilarious to see
Anna
a
sent me a
friend from
picture. I'm
here.
like, wait, what are you two doing together in DC?
She was in DC too. We went to the Renwick Gallery and we saw a quilt exhibit, which was called We Gather at the Edge, Contemporary Quilts by Black Women Artists. One in particular, which was, the subject was Hurricane Katrina. The movement in this quilt, take a peek at it, absolutely amazing. And then I almost got to the cross stitch store in Stitches, which is in Virginia. Carolyn's sister-in-law, whom I also know, she actually came and picked me up, and we drove to the store, and it was closed.
Helen and I had gone last August together. It was a really great store.
So it closes on the early side, and we didn't realize. And it was so nice of her. So we're like, okay, another visit. We're going.
Maybe this summer when we're back there.
Yeah. But of course, most of my time was with the new baby and his big sister. Lots of time at the park, and it was just amazing. I'm still just filled with so much happiness about it.
So Anna was gone for a good chunk of time. In fact, she left a few days after we filmed our Stitch With Us. And then it was just, I think, back last weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit in the stage of like, I don't really know what day it is or where I am, or that's going to come across in my stitching too. But it's been a great time.
Yeah. And then while Anna was gone, she had the baby and I got to go to the wedding. So our nephew got married in Seattle and it was beautiful. They had just got married in a small park, and as you all know, we have a huge family. They wanted their wedding to be very small, so they were immediate family only, close group of friends, and then the grandparents were invited. And our parents, it's just too much for them to fly and then rent a car and do all that. So our nephew texted the Palo Alto sisters and said, okay, one of you gets to come, but you all decide, no fighting. And luckily we all worked it out. And so I got to go, which was so fantastic. It was so fantastic. It was so fun taking mom and dad, and then our nephew's other grandmother was there. So I was like the senior sitter. I was driving everybody around, and whenever anybody wanted to do something, we all stayed in an Airbnb together. And one of the beautiful things is the couple really wanted their friends. They were thinking about it as friends, and the night before the wedding, everybody making origami and stringing it up and putting it at the park. But our sister spread the word out to our big family, and origami came in from cross country. So we strung it up, and I'm going to put a picture here of the park. I'm not going to include the couple because I didn't ask him if we could. But here is just our park location. It was a sunny day in Seattle, as we all know that's special in itself. And the windy and the origami was just in the breeze. And on Saturday, they got married on a Sunday at the park. And on Saturday, their friends were at the Airbnb, and everybody was just making origami. Nobody knew how to do it. Some of them, in fact, I'm going to put a close up right here of my husband's that he made for me to take along. And it was just really great. And then I think a lot of our family strung up origami on the day of their wedding at whatever their location.
It's sort of a way to help me feel connected I hung some origami in a flowering tree.
And it was really special for them. So that was, of course, weddings and babies, awesome. I also had spring break, which was great. And half of my spring break was spent babysitting my granddaughters as my son and his wife went to their annual pilgrimage, I will say, to Coachella. So we had them for 5 days. I went over to their house. It was just so fun. We went on so many adventures. I'm just going to put a little picture here of them. We went creek hiking. So we tried to do some kind of adventure every day. And they're getting old enough. They're almost 3 and almost 5. They, you don't have to watch them every minute. Like if I was cooking dinner, they could be playing someplace in the house or the backyard or something.
Yeah.
And they are just full of beans. So we had a great time. I was exhausted when I went back to work. But in as we all know, all the best ways.
Exactly.
My husband stays at our house and I stay with them. So it's sort of like being a single parent with grandkids. Still, it's amazing. Okay. And I'm also winding down my last few weeks of classroom teaching. This is my last year teaching in the classroom. I think I hope I'll still work in some capacity part-time, but I won't be a classroom teacher anymore. So,
Carolyn,
I know on Monday will be my last time I'm teaching the quadratic formula. So pretty exciting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
All right, as you talk about what you're wearing, I'm going to take my sweater off. I'm just coming back from the Stanford women's softball game, and I'm like slathered with sunscreen, and I'm hot.
Okay, okay. So I'm wearing one of my staples. I'm starting to bring out my spring and summer sweaters. This is the Calyx sweater by Elizabeth Doherty. She is a master designer. I knit this in the summer of 2018, and I wear this one so much. I mean, our climate, like today was a perfect California day in that the morning it's cold, it's chilly. Most people have like their puffy jackets on and their sandals, or you wear a sweater all day. Or
puppy jacket? What's a puppy jacket?
Yeah,
like you throw on when you walk the dog?
No, like you know what I mean, like your winter jacket.
Oh yes.
So I often have my
puffy. I think you said puppy.
No.
Okay.
But I have like short sleeves under here, so this comes off. I've talked about this before, but it is really wearing and tearing, and I try like under the arm. It's honest last legs.
Yeah.
I thought last summer was going to be its last summer, but I can't get rid of it yet, so I need to reproduce this sweater in some way. It's been everything about it I love.
It doesn't look. Yeah, you don't notice it right away.
Okay, so
maybe one more year.
I got one more year in it. So the Calyx sweater by Elizabeth Doherty. I think I'm going to knit this sweater again. The yarn is discontinued, and I actually don't think the yarn wear that well. So I've been looking. I've been eyeing this one yarn from Sonder Yarn in Canada that is a mix of linen and wool.
Oh,
because this has some linen in it. It has some wool, has some silk in it. So, if anybody has an idea of a good summer yarn that's not just cotton, pop it in the comments, please. Thank you.
Oh, you're gonna get some ideas there.
I know, good. And guess what? If I use your yarn, I'm gonna treat you to something. So, I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Oh, we also need to tell. This is our last thing. Then we'll get going to stitching. It's that time of year, everybody. I bought my bag of jelly beans.
Our sister Lynn was just talking about this.
I didn't, at our little local market, they didn't have the Brocks this year, so I went and got some Jelly Bellies. So Ann and I will be chewing on jelly beans.
I'm guessing cinnamon.
I love the black, the licorice.
Got it right.
Yeah, okay. So let's now go. We're going to be talking with our mouths full, drinking our champagne.
Right. We're all friends.
We'll be on sugar and champagne.
Okay. One of the things that got mentioned, I think again it was in our Stitch With Us, was that I had this big scratchy Beatrix Potter wool blanket that I stitched back in the 80s. And 5 of the Beatrix Potter characters. And it was in one of our Stitch It or Ditch It if you've been around for a while. Here is a picture of it on my granddaughter's dresser. Because what I did was I chopped it up. I chopped each character out put it in just a very simple frame from Michael's, this little square frame. So there are little 5 frames you'll see lined up on the dresser. So we had talked about, we gotta get a picture of that.
Yeah, good.
And then I have an almost fully finished object that I thought
Close
was
enough.
worth showing because I've thought about this so much in a fun way. I stitched these buttons last summer, and it's a Cosmo product, and I cannot find it online anymore, and I think a few of you have looked for it too. But when I fully finished the buttons, actually put them around the button base, they're just super cool, you all.
Wait, have you shown these yet on the button base?
I don't think so. Have I? I don't think so.
Oh, it's like you lace.
Yeah.
Show the back. It's like she laced them.
So you're supposed to put a piece of felt around them, but I have this idea of maybe...
Anna, these are really cool.
I got this fabric at Hearts Fabric when we were over in Half Moon Bay a month or so ago.
Is it
And I was
linen?
like, it's a 7-berry cotton. I don't...
It's funny because
Maybe
it's loose enough weave. You can almost see the grid.
And I'm like, what if I made a tile from that fabric and then like glued the buttons on it and then put that in the back of a shadow box?
Yeah, love it.
Okay, I
Yeah,
thought it was a
love
little
it.
unusual, and I really needed a little feedback.
You are rocking inventive.
Just go
FFOing.
for it and
So
don't worry about
go
it.
for it. And even if it turned, whatever, it's such a cool idea, do it.
Because this fabric popped in my mind, and
Because
I just thought
I also love,
I might not put all 5 of them. I only might put 3 of them.
because the, are you going to put it in a shadow box, did you say? What if there was a border of some other linen or something behind it, and that some of them
Broke the
boundary?
yeah. I've experimented with that a little bit.
I think I would put all 5 because I think there's something really cool about
How different the colors are. And that against the fabric.
or even do some okay, yeah, you do whatever.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about doing some embellishment stitches. Okay, so I am going to try that. Well, we could try that maybe with this. Like, what would that fabric look like against some linen? Well, that's too bright.
Because this does the weave looks pretty loose, that I think it would look really pretty against some linen.
If only we had some linen. If only we had some natural linen around us. Okay, I'm going to play with that, and maybe I'll have that next time.
And I love the idea. Keep being creative.
Thank you. It is really satisfying.
I think lemon. I think cherry.
Oh yeah.
Maybe apple.
All right, you also you got some finish.
So, and then I do have one finished object too. It's from Notforgotten Farm. My needles work. It's a sweet little peacock.
Wait, had you started this?
No. This is one of the things I brought with me to Virginia because when I bring my travel lamp, I find like little things are just easier for me to stitch.
This is fantastic.
Look at the color palette. I know it's a lot of brown, but
does
I
it-
love it.
But then you've got this. This is Steam C.
Yep.
It feels really good.
And this is on 40 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works.
So adorable.
Look at that.
So adorable.
It's finished just with like a turnover hem on the front. I might do a hem stitch
I would do a hem stitch.
because I also I've done a hem stitch once or twice. I want to get not necessarily better, but I want the muscle memory where I can hem stitch without looking at the directions.
I love these little circles along the bottom.
Beads. So I actually have another piece of fabric behind it because I want to stitch this again using some aquas in this purple
Ooh.
and less brown, and just see what that will look like. Oh, I have another purple here.
Yeah,
too.
you've been finding so many great Notforgotten Farm ones that I'm not sure everybody I've seen.
Well, I think partly because they're old. I think this is.
Where did you get this one?
I'm getting them most of them off of the Notforgotten Farm Etsy store.
Well, here it's always interesting to see how they advertise themselves. It's with a phone number, an email at AOL, which we know is older, and her website is at Blogspot.
2010.
Blogging.
2010.
Wow, Anna, this
So
is fantastic.
during my Notforgotten Farm year, I want to just throw a few of these in, these little ones that just they just take a few nights. And I love it. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. Although
I like the idea of just hem stitching it.
yeah, put that in the back of a shadow box, or maybe just hem stitch it and chuck it in a drawer for now.
Or just put it on top of a table. Use it as a coaster. Really great. Really good design. And it's funny you say there's so many browns, but think about how effective the color is because of all those neutrals. Whether it's the blue in the tail, or of course the gold in the bird, or a little bit of blue in the word needles.
Yeah, we've talked about this so many times, that you need those neutrals to make the other things shine and pop.
Cool.
So there we go.
Nice. All right, we have everybody put their seatbelt on, or get your stitch in, or get your beverage, because we have a lot of whips now. All right, the first whip is...
That's coming along.
Oh, all right, let me just get it on the
gonna eat
board.
jelly beans.
Yeah, you eat jelly beans. Now you got to talk while I'm doing this.
I don't know. Some of these, like some of the colors.
I know the buttered popcorn. Ugh.
I had popcorn at the softball game. Delicious.
Oh yeah, popcorn's fine, but the buttered popcorn. I'm stitching. I always forget. Is it Winter White or White Winter? White Winter Moth by Barrick. One of my categories this year, and one of my goals this year, is to always have, I'm calling them lingering whips. And these are whips that I've had for more than a year. So what I've been doing is when I pull a lingering whip out, it's out until it's finished. And for me, an active whip is one that I stitch on at least once a week. So
this idea is resonating with others.
It's been fantastic. And you know, I've had this now for probably 6 or 8 weeks out, because there's a lot of stitching. It's been really fun, but I just know it's not going to go away. I'm stitching this on 36 count red cedar by Cedar River Linen, and I'm using my own color conversion. It took 4 colors, of MPI in a single range. So I'm using the Gothic red range, and then it also has a white. Don't you love when you're starting to run out of floss?
I know.
It's
wow,
getting
I've
sparse.
done a lot.
My floss is balding. So here is where I am. Let me first put it back. And that white moth is so striking, isn't it?
It is. I love this pattern.
And this pattern also has a little bit of a detail color, a pop of color. You can see that's a gold bird here, a gold bird there, and some gold in the flowers. So I'm still trying to decide what my pop of color or colors will be. And that's why there's like a hole right there. There's going to be a bird there. Oh, look at that.
Well, you keep being so sweet to me about my finishes. Your color combinations. I know you're not 100%. There's one color in here that you're dissatisfied with, but some of the stuff you've been doing just
mine was this lighter, but now that it's in here, it's okay for me.
Okay, good, because it's never bothered me.
All right, I did something that I think worked really well. Shall we say the rump, or the bottom, the very bottom of the moth is 2 stitches. I don't know if you can see that, the moth's body, I should say. And then there's a flower right underneath it. And can you see there is a purple stitch right there between the white sections? So in the original pattern, because you have 2 stitches for the moth's butt, the flower is centered under one of the stitches of his butt.
Yeah.
So I took the whole thing and shifted it 1 stitch. So it's kind of off center of everything else.
So then we must ask the question.
So then it's truly centered under the 2 stitches because it's sharing, it's in between.
Did you tell a difference with your stitches? Because you know how we try to start on a leg of a stitch that's
so look
on
and
top.
see if you see. So I was
But what did it feel to you? They looked.
It was so
the same.
hard. So hard. Okay, as a teacher, I'm going to show you
I'm going
to show you a diagram.
This is where you were headed.
When you have woven fabric, your warp, your verticals, and your weft, of course, it's going over, under, over, under, over, under. So my guideline is the over vertical. My guideline is jelly bean. I always come up with my needle with the vertical that's going over the horizontal is the top left corner for me. You almost have to go and try it yourself to see works for you. That is such a great marker for me. There's something about that vertical thread, it's coming up the left side. It's at the top where it's a little bit bulging out because it's going over the horizontal. So easy to see. And in fact, when I first started,
it's my bottom left.
It's my top left.
Pointing at you. Wait a minute.
So for me, I'm here. So for you, you're probably there.
I mean,
oh, it's your bottom left.
My X is here.
Okay, my X is here.
Wow.
Okay, so ours is in a different place. To me, when I first started stitching, I was looking for the hole, and sometimes I couldn't find the hole. I didn't know what hole I was going to go in, and I don't know what my brain did to look at the vertical thread. That might have been a suggestion from somebody.
I think we did hear that earlier.
Such a great landmark. I see it so well. But then when you skew one thread, it was then the bottom right for me, and it was so hard. I had to do it in a couple of seatings, and I needed really good light. And in the end, instead of looking for it, I just was having my needle kind of find two threads.
And it was just the flower underneath. The other ones returned to.
Yes, it was only this one.
Well, I think it was worth it. I like the look of it.
It was only this one motif. Oh, I think it's totally worth it. And so it's lining up. Of course, it's fine the way it is. I just kind of was curious about that and just wanted to challenge myself just to see, was it effective? And to me, it was worth it for that. Mm-hmm. So I was curious, what do you all use as your sort of landmark? Do you use a vertical thread, a horizontal thread? Do you use a hole? If you use a vertical thread...
This one tastes like sun lotion.
spit it out.
Excuse me for interrupting.
I know. That is the thing about these. Anna, can I hashtag truth?
Yep.
I really like the black licorice ones.
So, I noticed I didn't have any.
When I poured out our two little bowls, we each have a little bowl of them. I took the black ones out of Anna and replaced it with colors from mine. Them. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's I think that's mainly what I want to say. I'm getting close to finishing. Again, this will be, I've enjoyed this from start to finish and highly recommend it. I should say the size, it's 197 wide by 110 high. So maybe a little bit bigger than I sort of thought, anticipated. And there's only one thing I want to say. Hashtag Kathy Barrick Club. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you think, I feel like things are usually like bigger and more stitching than I think when I look at a picture than the opposite.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true for you?
I'm trying to train myself to, by the stitch count, get a feel. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I think as we've been stitching, I think I'm not quick on the start line to start things, because I think I am a person that likes to finish things too.
You think?
Yeah. And I know how much time and care and love goes into it. So
yeah, it's all working out.
That's just me. It is working out. I'm doing
okay. So you're going to see that most of my whips I just did a smidge, but since I touched them all, I'm like, I'm just going to show you what, but I might not have a lot of revolutionary observations.
Okay, that's all right. It's Saturday afternoon.
First thing that I touched, and it's something I'm looking forward to really getting into now that I'm back with my big magnifier light, is the Quaker Christmas Stocking Sampler. Hashtag Kathy Barrick Fan Club. Mm-hmm. I am doing the sampler. I'm using the called for MPIs with, of course, a thread pack from Hillside Rookery. And this is so long. I'm like, maybe I'll just leave it in a jumble. This is where I am. So I did a little bit more.
Actually, maybe take it off the board and just, fold it a little bit to see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that shows up better.
I started on a different piece of fabric and changed to, this is the called for wheat, which I had a hard time finding at first, but then found, and I decided to switch.
How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling good. Mm-hmm. Do I have anything to say? I don't think so. I just love it. I love this kind of thing. I love these kinds of motifs. Looking forward to. I even don't even know what Annie, who's running the Sal with this. I don't even know what my latest assignment is. So I'm sure I've got some catching up to do up here and down here. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to it. Quaker Christmas Stocking and Sampler. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Kathy Barrick,
we're really in Kathy Barrick Quaker. We kind of clumped these together. I'm so excited because I started a Quaker drilling. I was just telling you, oh yeah, I don't really start that many things. I have 2 starts. A Quaker Dwelling by Kathy Barrick. This is something I've had this for a while. It's always been on my to-do list, and was inspired because Alex of Salix Stitches. This was her choice for her birthday start, and it was on April 13th, so just a week and a half ago.
Are there any posts? I haven't seen them.
I haven't really seen any posts.
How you doing, Alex?
Yeah. Oh, I just looked at Alex's feed today on Instagram, and she hasn't posted anything.
Okay.
But it might have been something in her stories. So I was like, yes, I'm on this right away. And both Olivia B of Hillside Rookery and Sherry rhymes of Colorado Cross Stitchers, when they stitched this, they went on a bold piece of fabric.
They're both so beautiful.
So incredible. So I'm like,
go find them in their feeds.
Yeah, I'm going bold.
Mm-hmm.
About the same time, Cam of Cam the Stitcher really inspired me when she showed some of her, I think she has a really good sense of color, like thinking about color, and her color instincts are really interesting, but she goes very bold. So I really like seeing what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And she showed two linens that were very bold color from Fiber on a Whim. And I'm like, pause, order. And I ordered them both. And one of them,
literally paused the video and ordered them?
I literally paused the video and ordered them both because I didn't want to forget it. So here's where I am on a Quaker Dwelling.
Oh.
This is stitched on 36 count muted Sedona by
When
Fiber on a
they eat
Whim.
it looks like a pastry.
Yeah, I know. And I'm using a lot of so I'll put it back here first. I'm using a lot of the called for, in fact, I don't need the board, MPIs, but I will be tweaking them as I go. So you can just see the roof of the house coming in. Oh, it's blowing out if I get too close.
Really, really pretty. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It doesn't feel very springy, but I think it's going to be really effective.
But you say that because we're in spring, or what?
Yeah, like, sometimes
okay.
it's spring and it's springy.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
actually
greens
springy.
that I'm using, the called for greens, and these will also be the two darkest, which there is a very slight variation, are for a lot of the motifs around the outside, but then these four will be the house bricks.
Okay.
So we'll also be pulling in this lighter turquoises,
They
which
look a little bit more gray or something in this
know.
photo.
It is always true with the photos, so that's why I got to go to Needle in a Haystack, and I just pulled all the called for, and then I tweaked some of it. So some of them, this band has all the called for plus some of my possible variations.
That's the way to do it.
Like, for example, I think the door, I can't remember which one, the door might be one of these brownier oranges, but I also got a bolder red. Just thinking on my linen, I might need more variation. This color also goes in the roof. That's going to be my next one on there.
Oh, this is looking fantastic.
So-
I'm so glad you started it.
I think it's going to be really bold. I think the linen is going to really work. It's going to be really like atmospheric. That's what I'm going to say. Atmospheric.
Okay.
Oh. I haven't stitched much on bold linen, so I'm feeling really,
That's a great start,
really,
Carolyn.
really, really curious about it. I am going to know, though, I did want to get enough to really celebrate Alex and her birthday, but I'm going to put this away now until I finish my white winter moth, because they're so similar. In fact, this motif, there's several motifs that are in both of them, or some of them are really similar.
Oh, wow.
So like this one is in both, and of course the stars. That one is the one I just stitched for that. So
Great.
I can't wait to get down to those bricks. All right. Oh, I want to say one more thing, and I don't think I'm giving anything away. This pattern was printed on 11 by 17 paper. So it's the full width of the pattern. So there are two of these.
I wonder why that's not done.
I
more.
wonder
Is
why
it an
it's-
expense thing or
It also might be the way charting software does. It's done more for 8.5 by 11 pages. So for whatever reason, this is the first time a pattern's come like this. I really like it because now I only have one join at the bottom.
cool. Okay. Next is Rabbit Warren, another not forgotten farm.
Gonna shake a little bit.
And I was, I don't know, halfway done, and I made some progress. I'm trying to remember the linen that it's on. Oh, it's 40 count vintage navy bean by Lakeside Linen.
I'm surprised this isn't finished.
Yes, I
I'm
actually.
not chastising you, but.
No. I thought I was going to finish before I left for my trip, and I just didn't.
Oh, so
It's pretty close. I have about 50 little flowers, but since I've just come back from cherry blossom land, it's gonna feel great. Oh, I know. I was stitching on one of these bunnies during our
You were.
Stitch with Us. So what I have left is a few branches and leaves and a lot of flowers. The flowers are 4 stitches with 1 stitch of a different color in the middle. So it's going to take a while. But I would like to have this fully finished by our next video.
They really look like they're up to some shenanigans, don't they?
I'm sure that's one of the reasons I like it. Like they're having it, like their parents are out of town. They might be having a keg party. I don't know. So really, really enjoying this. We'll finish it, and
How do you think you're going to fully finish it?
I'm gonna make a pillow.
Oh, our sun's starting to come in. I might have to put our blinds down in a second. You start seeing it, like.
Okay.
Again, I love it.
Rabbit Warren. I don't know if I held this up. Notforgotten Farm. And this is 2016. The pattern.
Oh, and my next one was the one I was also stitching on during our Stitch With Us. And this is the Houses of Hawthorne Hollow by Carriage House Samplings, but I do think Kathy Barrick is the designer of that. One of my other themes for the year is I've classified 3 of my projects as BAPs, big, awesome projects. And what I'm doing is I'm having a BAP of the month. So every month I'm just rotating through the 3, and every month I bring one out and I work on it during the month. And this was my March BAP. And I got a lot done. I finished block 8 during the month and started block 3. And so I was working on this with Stitch With Us, but I think I worked on it for maybe 4 more days after that. So I feel like I'm really getting some good progress on this. And this is stitched on 36 count overcast by Cedar River Linen and Design. And I'm using the called for MPI silks. And what I do when I start a block, I see what I already have in our stash, and then I just order what I need for that block. So it's been a more just spreading out the cost of all the silks. I'm really happy I'm doing that.
I think Olivia B is doing it that way too.
Yeah, I'm copying her a lot. She also is using overcast. I think she's using 40 count. And it's the stitch count. This is 369 wide by 278 high. So this is 6 of the 12 total. I started this on February 29th last year in 2024. I think the idea was start your BAP on a leap year and then finish at the next leap year. I don't know if I'll be finished by the next leap year. So this has been great. I've decided that I'm definitely going to personalize, like for example, she has words and different things on hers, but I'm going to put the addresses of the houses I've lived in my life.
Love it.
And when I was traveling up to Seattle with Mom and Dad, I was asking them, do they remember the addresses? And for the most part, they do. So I haven't written them down yet, but I think I'll have the addresses.
So even the ones you don't remember as a child?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like this morning, I was just trying to write every down what I remembered. And John and I lived in an apartment on Van Ness Street. And we're like, what was the number of the apartment building? And then we just used Google Earth, and there it was, found it. We're like, oh yeah, okay, 3025. There it is.
I'm sure I have it in an address book.
I'm going to pause us and put our shades down. All right.
Okay.
Problem more or less solved. So this is my March BAP. So this now goes away, and it will come back out when it's next turn the rotation again.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
My next whip is Hyperbole, which is an artsy housewife pattern from her Patreon. It's her birthday chart, Gigi's birthday chart from the beginning of the year. And I, again, just did a little bit on this, but what I was doing was I wanted to get some of the yellow in. I had ordered some Roxy Floss Co., the Roxy Floss Co. conversion, just the yellows. And when they arrived, they were beautiful, but these were a little bit brighter, and I thought, you know what? I think I want the bright. So my goal was to get
that's the DMC.
This is the DMC. I do not have the Roxy with me. So my goal was to just get a little yellow in, and sure enough, I'm super happy with that. This is Fox and Rabbit 40 count winter wren.
And you've sort of moved to 40 count, I think.
You know,
look how vibrant that red is.
That's going to come up later. I am starting to wonder if I actually prefer it. If you had asked me even a month ago, I'd be like, oh, I love 36 and 40, either one. And of course I enjoy 56 as well. But now I'm like, I think if I have a choice, I might be picking 40 over 36.
Was this the called for linen? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, coffee.
Quick. Prosecco.
Looks really good.
So Carolyn has done a lot on hers. So show us yours.
My next one is hyperbole. And just to be completely transparent, we both are.
Oh, I guess it's digital. So yes.
Yeah, but we are both Patreon members for that. And I am stitching mine on 36 count medium dark button box by Mason Linen. And I did my own conversion to SWA 103 and Goblins. So here is where, it's not going the right way.
Amazing, Carolyn. You got to one of the big flowers.
Yeah, it's hard to get the real colors. Okay, Anna, let me see if I can you hold this because I want to point out something. Or, oh, maybe I can just fold it in half too. Okay. Pull it in. All right. I'm going to talk about this golder yellow. It's coming out, but I wanted to leave it in to talk about it. This golder
Coming in as you're going to frog it.
I'm going to take that part out, and there's a brighter yellow next to it that I'm going to keep. This yellow is the same as the yellow against the black up here and the darker yellow in those flowers. And I keep learning more and more. I just know it's something that you just have to keep trying. Here's my palette. And whether I use it all, I mean, sometimes I always pick more than I typically need because I decide along the way. Sometimes I'll take a whole spool, like the one that felt darker. Is it this one?
Probably. Maybe, could it be that one?
It might be. No, because that's more green.
Yeah.
I think it was this one. And when you look at the whole spool and you put it against the fabric, it's like, oh, that's going to be really bright or bold. But then when you pull out one strand, like it's so different. So I went to this incredibly bold yellow, and that's this yellow.
Oh,
and
that is shocking.
Okay.
That is the shocking thing.
so this bold yellow is the yellow, you can best see it in this flower right here. So just learning, as we're thinking about colors, you can't really use the spool or the skein because you're getting this intense block of color that's going to be so different than when you have one strand on there. So just something I keep thinking about, like I almost have to pick the color I want and then bump it up a notch, either in brightness or darkness or lightness or whatever the contrast is going to be.
Because I was just thinking, like, it probably is not cool in the store to start unrolling and just seeing what one strand or like pull out a little DMC. Like, but so you've got to train your brain to predict.
Right. And it's almost like, what is that contrast? Like for the yellow, particularly in these standalone flowers, like we want it to show up. And for that, I just had to go very bold. It's going down in. I love that black band. And then like the colors against the black band, I love the more muted yellow there. Because I think that one would have been, if I went with the bright on the black, I think it would have been too bold.
I don't know about that.
Well, yours is a different. So look how much smaller yours is actually. So it's going to be fun to watch Anna's DMCs because I did my conversion starting with the DMCs as my reference.
Yeah.
I mean, our fabrics are different, so it's going to look different. This is so fun.
So fun. Thank you,
fun.
Gigi.
Yes, thank you. This is 210 wide by 280 high. So I might declare this a BAP. I can't decide if it's a BAP or not and put it in my BAP rotation.
I think it is. Because there's a lot of density in it too, which is something I love about Gigi's patterns.
Yeah, so I'm just, where am I? Oh, I'm over on this side. So I'm kind of been working on this corner right here. There's going to be
It's about so much. Think about how much you've stitched, and you're just here.
Yeah. So I think now instead of 3 BAPs, I'm declaring this a BAP, and I'll have 4 BAPs. So I'm just going to have a 4 BAP rotation right now. Okay.
Very good.
And I just love looking at this so much.
Yeah, it's pretty.
This is a little drawer thing I got from the Container Store. Same thing. It just pops in, and that's how I'm storing them.
My next whip is a new start, Felicidades y Recuerdos, which is from Needlework Press, done on perforated paper. So I've learned that perforate, like small things under my travel lamp or things on perforated paper are great for me while I'm traveling. And here's the color palette. No ring or anything yet because traveling. It's on this perforated paper. I don't know what the color is.
It's Mill
It's
Hill.
sort of brownish.
What size is the perforated paper?
It's 14.
Okay.
So it's pretty big. So I could see this really well without any magnification.
Cool.
And here's where I am. Loving it.
How are you going to finish that? Are you going to put some fabric on the back?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I might put a piece of cardstock. Like, I might put a piece of scrapbook paper that I like so that the pattern of the scrapbook paper obviously is in the back. And then with my little Christmas ornaments I did on perforated paper, I actually sewed them together on my sewing machine.
That's right.
I might do something like that.
And would you pick a paper that's the same, like, 'cause with the holes?
So I might need to have 3 layers. Like I might need to have just a piece of craft paper and then the.
How do you find stitching on this? Like, because I find I typically roll my fabric. Are you sewing? Are you?
Yeah, I'm sure. Every time I use perforated paper, I'm like, I'm gonna rip this because like I do funny things. Like I use my knee to rest it on, and sometimes I flip it upside down because I have a hard time like holding too much on this side. So
Has anybody tried stitching sideways? I'm sure if I put
you mean your X's are going to be different?
well, not if you.
Oh, unless you actually make the.
I'd be curious, like if you
Let's try that. I see what you're saying.
because there's sometimes where I think like if I like to go sideways more than down, when I'm going down, what if I just turned 90 degrees but
And you just
adapted my
change
X's?
your
I'm gonna play with that.
So funny.
everybody.
It never occurred to me you could adapt
I'm gonna report back.
Okay.
There's something about this that's really appealing. The paper feels good. It almost feels like
It has a coating on it. It must have a coating on it. It's a little malleable.
I almost feel like there's a little cotton in here. Does it say what it's made
I
of
don't think so.
for stitching?
I always think it's going to have like one of the California, like it has dangerous products in it because it feels unusual.
Don't use it.
I've done a lot with
don't
paper
use it
in
if you're
my
pregnant.
life. Yeah, exactly.
I know it almost feels like it has that. That's why I'm thinking cotton, like a little something on top.
Resist tearing, but is easily cut using scissors or craft knife. Wrinkles can be removed using a warm iron. Come on.
Although, didn't people used to iron newspaper?
Yeah,
Like back in the day?
I guess, yeah, you're right.
I was sending one of my granddaughters her birthday present, and our wrapping paper for some reason was like really gotten messed up. So I ironed it.
Great.
It was awesome. Okay.
So this was a great travel
Cool,
project, and I probably will put it aside until, like, if we're hanging out after dinner at someone's house, or if we go to a stitch group or something like that. I think that I want to finish this. Like, I think it's really pretty.
It is pretty.
So I want to finish it in the next couple of months, but I might just...
You really can see it better when you can't see through the holes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm also seeing, I think it's 2 needles pulling thread, that they're magnetic frames that you can put around it, kind of like your hoop, that you can hold that then.
Yeah, I'm not really struggling with that.
Okay.
One more thing I wanted to say is that because I'm using 2 strands, and I rarely use 2 strands, I'm always surprised by how quickly these little skeins of thread, I go through them. So I ordered some more of these colors.
Cool, Anna. You did a lot on that.
Yeah, that's probably 6 nights of stitching, something like that.
Some good block stitching there. All right, my next whip is my April BAP. And my April BAP is a peacock, a unicorn, a badger. And it felt so good to get back to it. Here is, and this is by, of course, the Scarlet Letter. And I'm stitching it on 36 count Zweigart flax, so it's just a straight up Zweigart. And I'm using the called for Soitage, and it's full coverage. So I'm doing the full coverage version. So here are the luscious, my green, this is my first green. I'm almost out of that for the background. It is just delightful to stitch on.
How many skeins are the background?
I think I may have,
Do you have?
4 or 5, I think.
I should double check that I have enough. All right, here is my progress.
Oh my god.
Here's where I am.
Amazing. It's already tapestry-like. Can you imagine what it's going to be like?
It feels so good. I'm calling myself, I'm in the era of the caterpillar because I've worked on this caterpillar, and that caterpillar. And I didn't even realize there were caterpillars in here until I started stitching it. And I've also been working on this bird and then just the fill-in around it.
And I'm pretty sure, I put my pattern away already. Oh, here it is. I'm pretty sure the deer,
Yeah, this is going to be the water line down here.
Okay, that's...
So,
and then there's going to, the
milestone.
tree that's in the middle is going to kind of come in here. And
I mean, you were making this happen. So cool.
this, I have not gotten tired of this in the slightest. In the slightest. It's fun. It was just like, it was one of those things where I had put it in the, like I hang my whips in my in a closet. And it's like you sort of forget about it. It's a terrible thing to think about. So I think that's one thing I'm liking about this BAP of the month is they'll just keep coming out for that. And I think I'm going to stitch on this one some more tonight. So Peacock Unicorn Badger.
All right, so just because we were just talking about yellows, where on this piece is this bright yellow?
Is that part of the sun?
Looks different.
That looks different.
Maybe you haven't used it yet.
Is it in there?
Is that?
Is it? Yeah, maybe I haven't used that really bright one yet. Unless it's this is. Which one was the bright? This one? I have used it though, because I take out with a soie I take out a chunk. There, like, and then I tie it to the side just to minimize the fluffiness of it. I don't know where I've used it, but I have. Oh, it's so good.
Are yellows particularly tricky, you think?
I think they are because I think a yellow, like, I think we talked about this color theory before, like a light color, it's really hard to get a saturated deep color when it's a light color. Whereas purple, if you ever notice, like by the time you get to like a violet or a light purple, it's lost some of its essence of the purple because it wants to be more of a darker hue.
Yeah.
I think there's some theory in there. Who knows? Okay, you all, we have a lot of whips, don't we? We're still going. We're still going. Okay.
What I spent most of my time on when I was visiting, because it's so easy to pick up and down, is I started a baby blanket for BBR, and it's called the Woodland Moss Blanket, and the designer is this yellow farmhouse. And I'm using Barocco Pima 100. Barocco, yes, thank you. Pima 100 in Ladies Mantle, which is this, what I think is a gorgeous green.
I love the ladies' mantle for the boy. Oh yeah, fantastic. Anna, you've done a lot. Did you start it there?
Yeah.
Did you get the yarn there at the...
No, I had the yarn. I ordered the yarn ahead of time.
Was this the same yarn that you made the other baby blankets out of?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's really nice. So it's just like a...
It's like a...
Oh,
knit, pearl,
interesting.
knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl.
But you're doing it on diagonal?
No. Well, it ends up to be a diagonal pattern. You do 2 rows of knit, pearl, and then 2 rows of pearl, knit, pearl, knit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's just sort of a simple texture. I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, feels good. Feels really good.
Yeah, thanks.
How much longer are you going to make it?
I don't know. I'm just going to eyeball that.
Yeah.
I felt like there was enough texture that for weaving in the ends, I actually did knit 8 stitches with both, holding both yarn, because I just thought, I don't think we're going to see that.
No, yeah. Oh yeah, here. Mm-hmm. And then I know that's the hard part with these. With the wool, you can like felt it together.
Yeah. So this has been really satisfying, and just when you have that brand new baby and you just, I don't know, you just kind of pour in all that love into the stitches. It's been very special.
Good.
So I think they're going to come out here and visit us in a little bit. So
really?
I would
like this summer?
Before maternity and paternity leaves are over.
Whoa.
So I know, adventure some.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have that for him.
Wonderful.
When they come visit.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I also have a couple knitting whips, but I'm going to show those next time for that. All right, here's my last whip, and it was also a new start, and this was my spring break / market start. I really wanted to go to the Lindy Stitches Nash Start or Nash Stash or whatever it was. It looked so fun. That was the weekend I was babysitting my granddaughter, so it was like, that was not going to be a go. So I'm stitching Bun Bun. Now, I'm pretty sure I might be quoting them wrong, but Boone and Gigi were talking about Bun Bun in their last video, and I think they called him menacing. And then you're like, look at those eyeballs. He is a little menacing. And I'm sorry if I'm misquoting you, Gigi and Boone. There was something about whether it was menacing, or I can't remember exactly what the right word is. So I decided to stitch Bun Bun. I wanted her to be a little bit more bright and cheery. So I used, this is the second cam, the Stitchers linen that I used.
You surprised us all on your post to an Instagram. Unbelievable.
It's called Jalapeno, and I love it.
So good with those colors.
I love it. It's gonna be hard to get the real color here as I move in. Now what I did with this is I kept the colors that Gigi charted for the bunny. It's these 4 colors. I did not want to mess with her shading, and I figured the bunny would look good on any color. And I'm really happy with that. It's, again, I love her charts because doing the bunny, it's like that more confetti and you don't quite see it, and then you get enough stitches and you're like, oh, there's the eyeball. It's really fun. But then these borders are so bold and geometric. It's just so much fun stitching.
And after saying that the things that always end up bigger than the picture, this is smaller than I thought it was going to be.
I know. She's super cute. So then what I did for the other colors, and I went up to Needle and Haystack and did this. Since I'm using green instead of blue, where the flowers are yellow, I haven't yet started stitching them. I'm going to do an assortment of oranges. So I sort of just moved all the color families 1 notch. So here are some potentials for my flowers, and I might put a little bit of that purple in there. So we'll see.
Cool, Carolyn.
And then for the...
Can you just hold it up against the fabric?
Yeah. Let me just get, maybe just get a few of these.
Don't be putting those away too fast. Yeah.
Because I felt like the flowers in the middle are sort of bold and with bright colors. And then for the outer, she had used a lot of magentas, so I'm going more purples.
I like what you have so far.
And let me pull out my other ring. And I just went to our Roxy Floss Co. for the most part and just picked out, like I'm using a lot of these in here for the border. And then I'm going to be using some combination of these brights in the same color family. It's really, nailed it, showing the floss. I don't know how people, I got to think, I think when people don't have it on the ring and they kind of hold up the cards.
You're doing okay.
So for example, this flower, I'm not going to keep that, but I'm keeping it in long enough. So I was showing Anna, I filled this one in, but I don't like it. So I'm going to definitely be experimenting and taking it out. But sometimes I leave it in until I get the one I like. And then I'll go back and turn it out because I want to be able to compare.
Yeah, I can see that.
As I'm going. But I'm really happy with the green leaves that I'm using there. And then for these purple, the purple of the flower, it's like the base of the flower. It's here, and it's also in the filled in portion. I'm using 2 different purples because when I'm getting filling in around it, I need more contrast, so I'm going darker. But when it's just against the fabric, I want to have it a little bit of lighter.
Oh,
I was reading black.
Every other
one is like against the fabric, against a stitch background.
I see.
So I found, there's the darker one, there's the lighter one. And I tried the lighter one there, but it gets lost. There's not enough value. So, and I really love doing color conversions, but I realize you also have to be willing, rip it out, try it. And if you don't like it, it's just going to be part of the process to take it out. So I am just,
and no matter how confident you are, you're going to have some surprises.
Oh yeah. That's why whenever I go to pick like my conversion, I will often pick several things, or like when I pull out the Roxy Floss, I'll pull out several things because as you're going, you're sort of making choices, or you might want to use 2 different ones in 2 different places.
Great.
Then the last thing I want to do is I had a counting error over here, and I was already working when I found it, so I just mark my errors. I tie a knot with a string, so that when I go there, I'm like, what in the world is that doing there? And I'm like,
don't forget.
Oh yeah, counting error.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Bun Bun.
Really, really like that a lot.
So is anybody else doing Bun Bun? I'd love to see people's Bun Bun progress.
Look on the back. It's on green.
It's like a blue, I think it's, but this is just her mock-up on the computer.
Right.
I think when they showed it on their FlossTube, I think it read a little bit like a gray or blue. He does look a little menacing, doesn't he?
I'm not really seeing that.
With the eyes. Maybe it's the storminess of the fabric, the background fabric. Okay.
Our last whip is a whip that is calling to me so hard. Like I thought about it every day when I was away.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
From velvet to linen.
Oh, okay.
And this is that funny story where my husband found a $100 bill in our yard, and so I spent it at Hillside Rookery.
After trying to find who it belonged to.
And I started it on something that we had in our stash. And this is 36 count.
That's pretty. What is that?
That is
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Okay, it's one of Jody's maple bar, maybe. It's so pretty. But I'm not sure about the coverage. What do you think, Carolyn?
What do you mean? I mean because it's 36 count?
Like this. And I think all the ones I'm seeing are very plump looking.
Oh.
And I sometimes don't mind ground showing through. We've talked about this so often. There's something about this design where I'm wondering, do I need to go to a 40 count?
Okay, because you can, you do see little blips of the ground coming through. It doesn't bother me. I think it's pretty. And
maybe I'll keep going with it because I love the modeling. I like that modeling to show, like around the butterfly and the bird.
And it's gonna feel so filled in because it's full coverage, really. Blowing out a little bit. Like so like this is on 36 count. You can see the ground through it.
Yeah, no, this has never bothered me.
So even like looking at something like that.
Yeah, maybe I just needed to do a little bit more.
Because it is, or order Maple Bar in 40. Her Maple Bar is really pretty.
That is the thing. I might. I'm just feeling impatient because I want to start it. And then I'm like, oh, but if you love it that much,
does anybody have Maple Bar in stock? I know if you order from Jody, it can take a little time, which is totally fine.
Maybe I'll look tonight.
Yeah.
As I watch a little TV.
Because I love this color and I think this will look beautiful on that.
Because when I picked the other options that we had a couple of 40s that I think work well with the threads. I was like, I'm missing the modeling.
Yeah,
and
it's really pretty.
Pretty piece of fabric.
It's really pretty. It almost feels like there's a little bit of pink undertones, doesn't it? Pink and yellow. I think it's really pretty.
I was so surprised at the coverage that I actually even measured it. Like, is this a 32 instead of a 36? But it's 36.
And I don't think, this is one thing I think I like about a little sparser coverage. It feels a little bit more for a solid silk, a little bit of variation. So I feel like there's a little bit of, you get that tiniest bit of like tone on tone. That.
Okay, so I'm still feeling pretty torn. Okay. So maybe I want to stick.
First of all, Maple Bar is so beautiful and you like 40, order the 40 count of Maple Bar and wait. It'll get here. I'm sure a store is going to have it in stock, or even if you order it from Jody. I think it's worth waiting. It's such a spectacular piece.
Okay.
You can wait.
Okay. You can do it, Anna.
You can.
You could do it.
You can. Because I think you're right about the Maple Bar being a perfect linen.
Okay. So maybe I was really feeling the loss of like, oh, but I don't want to leave.
And you want to keep going.
But, there's a solution.
There is a solution. Okay, Anna, let's go to plans.
Okay. Finish Rabbit Warren.
Check.
And fully finish.
Check.
Reconnect with some of my bigger pieces. The Quaker Christmas sampler, the Hyperbole from Velvet to Linen once I get my new fabric in. And then I want you to pick my next Notforgotten farm. But you can either look at them or we can do it blindly. I want to do one of her little samplers.
I want to look at them.
Okay.
Oh, you brought them. Okay.
Yes. Let's do it right now. I should have taken that one out.
Oh, maybe, why don't we show them to everybody? Okay, thing number 1 is called Seek Joy. I know right away, Anna, I'm not gonna pick this one.
Okay.
But I think you should stitch it very soon because it looks like the other bird. It feels like the same family. Okay. This one's called Lancaster County Alphabet Sampler.
Take that one out.
Yeah, these are.
I know. She's very talented designer.
All right, I'm giving Anna an assignment. At the end of the year, she's going to give us like a 20-minute talk.
I'm gonna write a little thesis.
You're going to
on
do
my
it.
experience with Notforgotten Farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what you've learned about her oeuvre. All right, and this next one is called Fronica Beeler, 1852. Okay. I ruled out that first one. Anna, this is hard. I think you should stitch both of these during the year.
Okay. So you do like them both a lot?
I like them both a lot. Okay, I'm gonna pick, I like them both a lot, and you definitely should do both. But I'm gonna pick the Fronica Beeler, 1852.
I thought you were gonna pick the other.
I was gonna pick the other one, but then I changed my mind because I think this reads the most like a sampler to me in some ways. And I think you're gonna love all the negative space around the different motifs. And when it's a little bit faint, but I'm seeing a chair and a berry bowl and a house and a rooster. So I think it's gonna be really fun and whimsical. So
Okay, great.
And let's see how big it is. It is, does it tell us our stitch
I
counts?
might have to go to the chart, or maybe it's on where the thread.
Okay, so it's 160 high by 250 wide. So,
Oh.
okay, so this is gonna be bigger. So you might wanna
But a lot of negative space.
a lot of negative space.
I want to do one of her samplers, and I'm like, I'm not wasting any time. I'm starting on one of her
Okay, I
samplers.
think this is the sampler because this is gonna, look at those beautiful, look at the
fabulous.
willow tree.
It's fabulous.
Oh, I'm gonna stitch this one too.
It's that Pennsylvania Dutch influence that it's just, you don't even need to put it back in the plastic.
We're going to her farm this summer when we're on the East Coast. Even if it's not open, we're gonna stalk and drive by. We're gonna do a drive
Stop
by.
using the word stalk. It's making me
Okay,
uncomfortable.
okay, sorry. We're not really stalking.
I just have a lot of admiration, and I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the exploration.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
Carolyn,
my plans.
your plans.
Okay, my BAP of the month, I'm going to keep going on that. Peacock Unicorn Badger. My lingering whip is my white winter moth. And I think actually that's going to come pretty close. I think I might finish it.
I think so
the next
too.
time I'm getting
think so
close.
too.
I'm not rushing or anything. I'm just enjoying it. I'm going to keep working on Bun Bun. So I think those are going to be my 3 rotation. And I have 2 knitting projects that I'm going to keep working on. And I'll show you those in the next video. So there's my plans. Okay, shared supplies.
I am part of the Roxy Floss Co. Fabric Club, and this was, I think, our 4th installment. And this one is hilarious. It's called Powder Puff, and it is full on pink. Oh, it's not really showing.
Let's see if we can hold it up a big. It's really cool.
I almost started to velvet to linen on it. It looks pretty cool on it, but I'm like, I think I don't think I want a pink background, but I want to do something with actually, I wonder what that sampler would look like on this, because I want to do something with brown threads on the pink linen.
Try
it.
that.
Let's pull up another
Okay.
Notforgotten Farm little.
It is a pale pink. Let's bring it in a little bit.
I'll have to see.
Okay, put it down on the table now where we can. I think that would be really interesting. The other sampler too that you were looking at, Notforgotten Farm, with the red and the black. No, I think you should do that one.
I'll have to see what the DMCs actually are.
Yeah.
But I started laughing when I opened this. It's just fun, so
Yeah.
fun.
I think it's nice too. Some of the fabric clubs, it helps you to use, like if you're saying, I'm going to use the fabric I get to get outside your comfort zone.
Yeah. And then I had $200 cash when I went to In Stitches, but brought home 0. So I'll save it for the summer visit.
I know, I was realizing I had so many good, like, this bold linen. I have to think, I'm just in a bold linen phase right now. Okay.
All right, what'd you get?
Okay.
What'd you get?
I had also ordered a couple more linen choices for...
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
There's only 4 colors in this sample.
Yeah. Cool. So you might want to, like, get those colors, but then see if you want to just tweak them a little bit to put them on the pink. When looking for bold colors, both Olivia and this is for Quaker Dwelling and Sherry had done sort of, I think they were more like golds.
I think Sherry's is like a brick color. and
Maybe it
Olivia's
was
is
like
gold.
Havana. So I picked,
No, I think like red.
this is called Havana. I got this from, and I don't
I've
know,
always wanted to see that.
and I ordered these from Kitten Stitcher. It's funny, by the time they got here, though, I was already committed to my
That's very
Sedona.
pretty.
But I think that this could be
We're leaning
really
towards
pretty.
these browns.
And then this one was called
organic honey.
Honey. Oh,
I thought that was really pretty too.
yes, Carolyn.
So to me, it's kind of like a fun challenge to think, how can you use these colored linens? Because the stitchers that I see that do it well, you're like, oh. So it's pretty. So 36, and you can take those home and add those to our stash. In fact, they look really pretty together, don't
They
they?
do. Maybe you need to piece them. Maybe this one needs to go on.
Actually, this could be really pretty for the.
Veronica Beeler.
Mm-hmm.
We have to. I have to.
You have to get the DMCs.
out. Maybe.
So. Okay, I'll put those in the bag for you.
We are at our thumbs up. Are we at our thumbs up?
Oh no, I have one more thing. I have two more things to show.
Oh, good.
Well, another thing I got at Needle in a Haystack.
Wait, that looks different. What is that?
This is linen Aida. It's Aida made out of linen.
What?
It's 20 count Aida. That's linen. It's from Zweigart. I know.
Okay, intrigued.
I know, and I can see these holes with my normal glasses.
I can too.
Because I love Anna's like traveling or having this project that she can stitch out and about. And then I got some very subtle, neutral threads just to kind of start, and I have an idea. So
Pennsylvania Dutch motifs.
I'm not gonna tell you my idea until I get going on it. But I just wanted to show that really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there was a variety of linen Aidas.
Was it folded or was it in another place in the store?
It was in with the Aidas. Isn't that cool?
And what was the price point?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But I don't think it was.
I like it.
I do too. It's kind of maybe hard to see the texture of it. It does. It had a little bit more sizing in it, so I actually totally wet blocked it and hung it on a thing to dry. So it'll be interesting to see how it softens up. It feels like a little bit stiffer linen.
This really might be one of our solutions. Wow. Okay, I'm going to try some too, please.
The other thing is, one of our viewers, Joan, was really kind. She reached out and said, I have a pattern that really reminds me of you. Can I send it? And we're like, yes, please. So Joan, thank you so much. It's called A Multiplying Bird. And it's a pattern I had never seen before by Kathy Barrick. And you can either stitch just the bird or the bird on top of a multiplication table.
Love it.
So I think when on my last day of teaching in the classroom, I'm going to start this. And actually, I didn't initially think of this. I have this in another idea for a project, but I thought this could look good on Aida and would be fun, because I also thought it'd be fun to stitch around like my granddaughters as we're starting to think about numbers and patterns of numbers. But then I'm like, oh, but the bird is sort of interrupting the numbers. But I'm like, oh, that's kind of good, because then they have to think about what numbers might be underneath the bird. So Joan, thank you so much. This
So
was
nice.
So nice to think of us, and I think this will be my I'm done with classroom teaching start. We'll keep you posted. Okay, now we're on to thumbs up. Interesting, huh?
All right, when I was away, I was going to Trader Joe's more often than I usually do, and I needed like some little snacks, and I would go back to my Airbnb and cross stitch at night. If you have not tried the snacky clusters, I love milk chocolate. This has corn chips, potato chips, and pretzels covered with milk chocolate, and they're these little like nuggets like this big, so you can have like 2 or 3.
I'm gonna try one before we leave one with
Like
me.
open it right now if you want. Also, when I was at the National Gallery of Art after looking at the cherry blossoms, I found these little luminaries, these little lantern kinds of things that had cherry blossom design on them, and you put water in them, and then they came with these tea lights. This is a new idea to me, but my daughter was like, oh yeah, they have bath toys like that. When the
Bath toys?
When the tea light comes in contact with the water, it turns on. And then when you take the tea light away from the water, it turns off. So the water is completing the circuit.
Oh yeah, because it's conductive.
Perfect for a 3-year-old. So at dinner time, we would say, like, are you going to light the candles or whatever? And she would put everybody's candle into And then we had our little cherry blossoms twinkling.
What
It was
a
so
great
fun.
idea. You can see the sun. We're almost done. That's not good. Cool,
And
Anna.
then I know when we were doing our Stitch With Us, we were like, let's start appreciating or talking about some things.
Somebody
that are
that's inspiring
us. And again, when I was away, I saw Nicole Needleworks episode. I find her so inspiring. Her aesthetic is so consistent. It has a very calm, beautiful feel to me. And so I was just really appreciating that she's back doing some floss tubes and just appreciating her aesthetic.
Nice. Good.
Carolyn, your thumbs up?
Yeah. Before I start my thumbs up, and it was funny, I was going to ask you if you wanted to do one. I've kind of already said my inspiring one. So for me, it's going to be Cam of Cam the Stitcher.
Okay, yes.
Inspiring with the colored linens for that.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to try to do that.
All right, my 3 thumbs up are related to crafting tools. Number 1 is, I don't know, on a whim, when I was up at Needle in a Haystack, I picked up this pack of pony needles, and they're called Pony Needle Black Tapestry 28s. It was love at first stitch. They're quite short. Can you see the black, and then they have a white eye?
I've tried them, yeah.
I love them so much. And then to date, I've liked the Bowen 28s. And when I went back to the Bowen, it felt like this big, hunky, like chicken leg that I was stitching with. Somebody then also commented and said, have you tried the reds? I'm not quite sure what the difference in the red is, but I think I'm going to order some pony reds and just compare. But, love these. What did you think of them if you've used them
Oh,
before?
I like them. I like them.
Okay. The next thumbs up, so thumbs up to those. The next thumbs up is I have this knitting pouch. Nothing in it is special. It's just, your common knitting stuff. I had lost it and I hadn't found it for like 4 weeks. And then I found it. And I knew how much I loved it. Just the feeling of joy when I looked in this bag. I'm like, oh, there's my pouch. So that's it.
Can you
Thumbs
tell
up
us
to
where you
that.
found it, or just not very?
No, it was in a bag with a knitting project, which I
Okay.
rarely do. But it was there. Must have been one I was taking over to my son's house. And then the last thing is I've been using Coco Knits. This is a metal board, and they use it for holding knitting patterns. You can put your knitting pattern in here, and just really high quality magnets that stick on this. So I've been putting my
really good looking.
cross stitch pattern on this. And then my grandfather had made this stand for like a plate or something. So this just sits perfectly in the stand. And I like it. Sometimes I stitch upside down, so it's just easy to flip it upside down. Or if I'm at a join between 2 pages, I'll put both pages right on, instead of taping it, I just put them on top of each other and magnet them together, and it's enough to get over that join. So I know knitters also like this a lot because you can put your project in there, or your pattern in there for your project. So thumbs up to that as well.
Great.
Okay.
All right, before we say goodbye, I just want to toast to Baby R one more time.
Baby R, new
We
life,
love you
new life.
and your family. All right. Until next time,
Happy crafting.
and stay curious.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.